We're back today with an NBA mock draft. This is the first NBA mock draft I've done kind of publicly, so it's going to be a blend of what I think will happen and kind of if I was the GM. So let's get into this. Keep in mind that my NBA draft knowledge is nowhere near my NFL draft knowledge, but I still have a pretty good grasp on things, so this one will be kind of fun with the draft on Thursday. We're going to start off with Victor Wembanyama to the Spurs. It's pretty clear pick. I'm pretty sure that anyone could make that pick. And we're going to get to number 2 here, which is the Charlotte Hornets. The trade function is on for this, and now that we're at pick 2, a lot of hypotheticals start coming in. So I kind of want to be careful here. I don't want to get too deep into the trade packages and stuff like that. But we've heard so far, the news is that Damian Lillard is not really content to stay in Portland if they decide to sit and pick here, which would probably be Scoot Henderson if Brandon Miller would go too. So there's the hypothetical. But we know that they have two options. They either sit and pick and probably lose Damian Lillard, or they trade this number 3 pick and get Damian Lillard some help, and that would come at a premium for another team to move up. So we can pick a route here. And the route I'm going to pick, if I had to truly guess, I don't see Damian Lillard staying. I think his time is over in Portland. And I honestly think that Scoot may even go 2 is the thing. But in this scenario, I'm going to have Brandon Miller going second, and then I'm going to have them staying and picking Scoot Henderson and trading Damian Lillard so that they can kind of get into their rebuild and respect what he's done for that franchise, because even with a trade, they could really get a guy like Zion from the Pelicans or someone very good, but I don't know that all of that would, a lot of stuff would have to line up for that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and take Scoot Henderson there. And then the Rockets are up at pick 4. This is where it gets more into the picks and not as much trades, but there could be trades up. I think the Rockets here, there's a lot of debate between the brothers, Amen and Asar Thompson, both from Overtime Elite, OTE. I'm going to stick and go Amen Thompson here. I truly do think he is better from watching the Twins a good bit. I'm kind of more into high school / early college basketball. I guess that doesn't really make that much sense, but I know my high school basketball players, especially in the last couple years, and I know this coming class, who's going to be freshmen in college this year, pretty well just from watching high school basketball and being familiar with the names and stuff. But Amen Thompson there at 4. Pick 5, the Pistons are up now. And Houston, Jarris Walker is a big possibility here. I also got to make sure I look at these rankings and because there's a lot of projection things. I was talking to a friend the other day about how the NBA draft is much different than a lot of drafts because so much of it is people reaching on guys that, you know, may not necessarily be the best talent at the time, but just, you know, it was when the Golden State Warriors picked James Wiseman over LaMelo Ball and the crowd of stars that went in that range at pick number 2. So, pick 5, we're going to go Jarris Walker here from Houston. I do like that pick a good bit. Again, I can't get too deep into details of these guys because I don't know them, but I do know, I know a good baseline of knowledge, that I will tell you, but I will be honest and say that I cannot get into a ton of basketball terminology necessarily, because I haven't individually done film study on these guys like Jarris Walker, but I did watch him all of March Madness and during the season while Houston was going on its tear. So, Jarris Walker, I know he is a beast, and I also know that Cam Whitmore is a beast, and that the Magic would really like to have that, but Asar Thompson is still here. This is a tough one. And then your projection guy is Taylor Hendricks from UCF. This is a tough one. I also like Grady Dick to the Orlando Magic, but at pick 11, that would be beautiful. So maybe that happens. I don't know if he really makes it, but we're going to go Cam Whitmore here. out of Villanova. And I see a lot of Magic mock drafts go that way, but I like that fit a lot. Cam Whitmore is certified. He is good, and the Orlando Magic are my favorite NBA team. Pittsburgh does not have an NBA team, but I do live in Florida and have for the last year probably kind of like the Magic. So they are my team, but not nearly as diehard as my other sports as baseball and football and hockey and stuff. All right, the Pacers here. I think they'd love to get Ausar Thompson at pick 7. That would be beautiful. People have him going 4th over Amen, honestly. So, may not be realistic, but that is how the board falls in this. And pick 8, the Wizards are up. And, This is an interesting one. If Bradley Beal gets traded, they need a guard. They really do need a guard. Now, whether that's Keontae George or Anthony Black, I think Anthony Black may go a little bit later than what his suggestion is on this draft board here. So I'm going to go Keontae George to give him a guard because Bradley Beal leaving would leave a hole there. And Keontae George is a good combo guard. Pick 9, the Utah Jazz are up. In the Jazz, they have Sexton. Would this be Grady Dick? Jordan Hawkins is still here too. He would be... I want to make some of those picks that are a little bit reachy, if that makes sense. Leonard Miller is also one that he could go much higher than this. I could see him going much, much higher. And Dariq Whitehead, for sure. But at this pick, I'm going to go with... They have their team needs here being guard, forward, and center. I mean, that's everything. I guess is this in order? I haven't really been paying attention. Anthony Black, yeah. I don't know if they would pull the trigger on that, though. I'm going to go with Jordan Hawkins here out of UConn. We saw what he could do in that championship run. Jordan Hawkins is ridiculous at shot creating. And his shot is also ridiculous. I get it's college, a little bit shorter, but his shot will translate. I'm pretty confident in that. So that's a good pick there for the Jazz. The Mavericks are up now. And what I know is that the Dallas Mavericks need defense. And I don't really care who's on their team right now. I get Kyrie and Luka and the chemistry didn't work. But the biggest thing was... Dorian Finney-Smith leaving was their last touch of defense leaving, and it was very apparent. So defense-wise, Derek Lively would be a nice get. Taylor Hendricks also would be a great get, and that's what I'm going to have going here at number 10. Taylor Hendricks to the Dallas Mavericks out of the University of Central Florida. And now the Magic are back up. I addressed their forward need with Cam Whitmore. So now, Grady Dick's the pick, though. I don't think they would go another guard. Jalen Suggs still has a possibility to develop, even though he's been a little bit slower at that than expected and hoped. But Grady Dick is such a good three-point shooter. I don't know that you could pass on him here, and I'm going to go Grady Dick here. And I'm going to set up a cool little... Arkansas pipeline with Oklahoma City here with Jalen Williams went to, well, I don't know how I would specify which Jalen Williams, but the one that, were they both rookies last year? No, I don't think so. One was a rookie last year at least. Ooh, were they both? I don't know, but a rookie, Jalen Williams last year, could be both. I could be including both, was from Arkansas as well. I'm going to go Anthony Black here. That would be a cool fit. I would really like that. That'd be fun to watch. All right, here we go. Now we get into some more deeper guys, and this is going to be a little bit tougher for me. I know Cason Wallace. I know Derek Lively. That's not a problem. Derek Lively he was the number one player in that class. He went to high school in Pennsylvania. I know that. Jalen Hood-Schifino, very good. Nick Smith, also a part of that great freshman class at Arkansas. Jet Howard, son of Coach Juwan Howard. Chris Murray, brother of Keegan Murray. Dariq Whitehead. Yeah. All right. So Toronto here. They do need a guard because Van Vliet is a free agent. So what guard would they pick here? I think Nick Smith could kind of, but Cason Wallace is really good. I'm going to go with, oh, wow, this is a tough one, honestly. Leonard Miller, too. But he's kind of a combo. Like, I'm going to go Nick Smith here to the Toronto Raptors as a guard to fill that hole of Van Vliet. Nick Smith they all were injured a bit last year, I believe. I think he was injured the longest. The Arkansas team was really banged up, so we didn't really get to see the full potential of that team, although it could have been absolutely great. Still made a run, knocked off Kansas. Yeah, that was a fun team. New Orleans Pelicans at pick 14. I don't really have much of a plan for them, but I do know that they need a guard, and I don't know what they're going to do with Zion. CJ McCollum is old. So maybe we're drafting his, next replacement. But I think Cason Wallace has to go at this point. That would be great value at pick 14 for Cason Wallace. And pick 15, the Hawks are up now. Guard, I don't really know if I agree that they need a guard. They have Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. I don't know if I would say that they need a guard like that. I guess, you develop guys, to be fair. But, they have a lot of bigs is the thing. So maybe they do need a guard because they have a lot of bigs. I'm surprised one has not been traded away because, man, do they have a ton. I'm going to go with Jalen Hood-Schifino here, just fitting the needs, to be completely honest, because they don't need a big at all. They also don't really need a guard, but, you can always be supplementing the bench, and this is pick 15, so some of these guys are going to be sixth men, or a good amount, actually, are going to be sixth men. All right, the Jazz with their second pick of the draft. We already went guard. Now we're going to look at some guys like the guy I have my eye on, Leonard Miller, is who I'm going to take here. With G League Ignite, he has been someone that we've known can be. These guys get picked way earlier than they're kind of projected in the whole cycle over guys that are college players because we get to see the college players way more. So Leonard Miller there at pick 16 to Utah. The Lakers at pick 17. Guard, forward, and center. I know that D'Angelo Russell should not be on that team next year. Wow, Michigan has two guards here. That's interesting. But they really have everything kind of. It would definitely be point guard. It would be guard for sure. Kobe Buffkin, Jet Howard, Ryan Rupert from France. Let's sort guards here. Yeah, it starts getting. Oh, there's City Sissoko. Marcus Sasser's down here a bit, and Julian Strawther. Those guys are more second round kind of guys, but still great players. I'm going to go with Jet Howard here. Sorry, I was about to explain something. Oh, Jet Howard, son of Juwan Howard, the coach. And that brings us to the Miami Heat at pick 18. I'm probably the most versed in the Heat just due to one of my closest friends being a Heat fan. So I could tell you a lot about how the Heat, draft and how they play. And they got Nikola Jovic last year, and he looks pretty promising, even though he doesn't really touch the floor for them. Just his development and kind of his mentality and the people he's been around are pretty encouraging. And he has buffed up a bunch, which is going to help a lot with the kind of style he's going to end up playing. Pick 18 now. Now, I really know the Heat roster. There could be additions, but none of them are dominant big men. So I think that's where I'm going to look here because we all know that in the NBA Finals this year against Nikola Jokic, they had no chance just due to their height. So we're going to give them Derek Lively from Duke. Kind of surprised he got this far just due to the board falling the way it did. But Derek Lively gives them some height. So that is very much needed here. Pick 19 now, the Golden State Warriors are up. And forward, guard, center, they have currently Andrew Wiggins at small forward. And then, who are they even running at power forward? Is it Wiseman? Well, I mean, guess Draymond. But, like, Draymond's not really your typical tall power forward. So we're going to look at Chris Murray would be a good piece on that team. So would Dariq Whitehead. Interesting. So would GG Jackson, but that might be a little reach. I think I'm going to give them Chris Murray to the Golden State Warriors. Brother of Keegan Murray on the Sacramento Kings. Would make for a fun rivalry that seems to already have been in place starting this year with a playoff series that was a very, very competitive series. Now, we already picked Amen Thompson fourth for the Rockets. We're going to go now with Dariq Whitehead. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm going to go Dariq Whitehead for the Rockets. I think they would love that draft. If that's what it ended up being, Amen and Dariq, that would be a draft for sure. All right, Brooklyn now, sorry. Mikal Bridges is nuts, and he's awesome and such a fun player. But they still do need some forward depth. And I think that let's look at some forwards here. I think I'm going to go Bryce Sensabaugh out of Ohio State. He was kind of their bright spot this past, well, just in general. It's not that they're horrible. They made a run in the tourney, not the March Madness tourney, the conference tourney. But they went on, I forget how big of a losing streak this past year. I think it was 10, maybe 10 games. It was absolutely really, really, really bad. So Sensabaugh was a bright spot on that team for sure. They have a lot of young players though, so kind of explains that. Brooklyn here at pick 22. And I am into names now that I know the names, but I couldn't tell you that much about players. So we're going to look off of needs. And I mean, I could tell you Kobe Buffkin, GG Jackson, Maxwell Lewis, Najee, Jacquez here out of UCLA, Trace Jackson Davis was cool. I can tell you, especially down here, I can tell you way more down here than I can up there because those are mostly just good college players. Amani Bates, he is someone that could get picked earlier than people think, for sure. Ricky Council, Keontae Johnson. All right, back to the subject. We're going to look at a guard / center maybe here. I think we're going to go with someone overseas, and it's going to be Ryan Rupert. Maybe not Ryan, but Ryan, possibly. Rupert from France to the Brooklyn Nets. Let's look now at the Trailblazers here at pick 23. We picked Scoot with a third pick. So basically we're saying Dame's gone. Now we are on to forward. We're going to go GG Jackson here. GG Jackson was a touted prospect out of high school that was committed to North Carolina and then said, oh, NIL deal. Going to go home to South Carolina. And now is in the draft, played for a much worse team in college, but still a great player and is just a great projected athlete for the NBA. He was a guaranteed NBA pick, basically. Pick 24 now, the Sacramento Kings are up, and they're only picking once here in this mock because I think I only did first round. Yep, I did. So we're going to go, let's think what they need. They have De'Aaron Fox. They have some Malik Monk. They have some nice pieces. Sabonis, but kind of like a small forward would be ideal. Maybe kind of a Trace Jackson Davis would be nice. Interesting. Very interesting. I feel like everyone could use a Jordan Walsh. He's Draymond. But I'm gonna go TJD here. I'm gonna start doing a little reach possibly on some guys, but it happens in drafts, so it's not unrealistic. It's just when you do it in a mock draft, it looks dumb. How could you go that far down the board? But onward. Pick 25, the Memphis Grizzlies. Well, they need a guard for the first 25 games. They do need that because Ja Morant will not be playing. But in general, they will need a forward. Yeah. I mean, Jaren Jackson is pretty good, but they could use some depth at that position. They have Steven Adams at center, so they really have some defensive players, but maybe again small forward would be nice. We're gonna go. Who are we gonna go here? We're gonna go Bilal Koulibaly from France, and I think I got an A+ grade, so very happy about that. Picking the foreign guys. I don't know the foreign guys as well for sure. I know guys I watched in college way better, clearly. But pick 26 now. We addressed forward for the Pacers. They have 3 first-round picks. You wonder if they package 26 and 29 to move up. If I had to put money on it, which I don't, 26 and 29 are probably going to be packaged to move up, would be my guess. They are looking guard and center here, though. We're going to go, Colby Jones is a good player that I know, and Kobe Buffkin. We're going to go Kobe Buffkin, though. Give them their guard that they still need. Tyrese Halliburton's awesome, but again, depth. We're picking depth picks here now. And this one, again, we're looking guards, and Colby Jones is next up. I think I gave the Hornets a pretty solid draft. I know the Brandon Miller pick is going to have people losing sleep, but I explained why I did that. I don't think this will actually happen. I'm going to do one more mock draft that's projection based, and I think Scoot Henderson will go second overall. I don't think they will actually be faked out. Brandon Miller's right up there, almost in that same tier, but Scoot Henderson is ready for the NBA. He has the size. He is dynamic. He's had the best workouts at these, team-specific workouts. He would be the first overall pick in many drafts, barring the Victor Wembanyama and LeBron James draft. And Zion Williamson. But yeah, I mean, Scoot Henderson will not. I cannot see him making it past 2. I cannot see Brandon Miller going before Scoot. That's my little rant on it. The Utah Jazz now. I've already picked Jordan Hawkins and Leonard Miller, so this is a great draft so far we got going. We're going to look at a center here, and it's going to be James. Ooh, did we look at a center? Yeah, we could look at another forward possibly for the Jazz. But there's not really anyone I'm too excited to go after there. We could look at a Marcus Sasser, Strother maybe, but I don't really think so. We're going to look at center here and go James Naji out of Nigeria to the Utah Jazz. Now we're going pick 29. The Indiana Pacers are up. And center is also on theirs, but I think I might go guard again. Let's just look at the whole board. Noah Clowney's here. Maxwell Lewis. Podziemski from Santa Clara is very good. So is Jaquez from UCLA. Sidy Cissoko is also very good. I think I might go with him. Strother, I think, could slip into the first round, though. Maybe not Amari Bailey. But with this one, interesting. I'm going to go with Sidy Cissoko here to the Indiana Pacers, giving them 2 guards in this draft, but they could still definitely add at that position. That's not out of the picture at all. And they do have Miles Turner, so they're pretty solid at that center spot. Pick 30, the LA Clippers. And this is their first and only pick here, honestly. This is their first and only pick here, actually. We're going to go... I think we're going to take Noah Clowney here. We could go Andre Jackson. Or Marcus Sasser. I think we're going to go Noah Clowney here to end the draft. And let's go over it real quick. We have Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, Amen Thompson, Jarris Walker, Cam Whitmore. Closing the ad. Asar Thompson, Keontae George, Jordan Hawkins, Taylor Hendricks, Grady Dick, Anthony Black, Nick Smith, Cason Wallace, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Leonard Miller, Jet Howard, Derek Lively, Chris Murray, Dariq Whitehead, Bryce Sensabaugh, Ryan Rupert. They have back-to-back picks. Wow. Gigi Jackson, Trace Jackson Davis, Bilal Koulibaly, Kobe Buffkin, Colby Jones, James Naji, Sidy Cissoko, and Noah Clowney. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you next time.